this. Yes, so this watery vibe that we're bringing into play with our recognition that we are really in the depth of winter now. And if you think of in springtime, perhaps, think of it as a cycle of breath. You take this big breath in, so perhaps we'll breathe together, inhaling. And you get to the top of the inhale and just pause with that, and you're at summer solstice, summer highs, and then there's an exhale coming through this releasing energy of autumn through to winter, and then you get to the base of your exhale and pause. So let's just do that a couple more times. Inhale. Fullness, take a pause, really full, and exhale. Let everything melt downwards, and pause at the end of your exhale. Maybe even collapse the chest and really push out that air. So you're really empty before you inhale. One last time, exhale completely. Soften the neck and shoulders. And when you're empty, just collapse the chest slightly and exhale just a little bit more, really feel into that emptiness. This is the essence of now. So perhaps you're going to start breathing normally, just your usual breath. Maybe close your eyes and notice that fullness of the emptiness of the exhale, just a couple more times on your own. You're in this womb phase of the seasons. Something has completed, but we're not quite ready to start again. We're in this emptied breath. We're in this complete exhale. It's quite a fertile ground if you think of perhaps the space of the womb when a conception has happened and it's growing in the womb before it becomes an outward life. So in this state of the maximum exhale, full emptiness, we tune into our water element. So perhaps on your next exhale, with your eyes closed, perhaps we're just going to rock back, round in the spine, chin comes forward, and inhaling as you rock forward, arching the spine. So seated cat and cow. Of course, you can raise your hips if it feels uncomfortable to sit on the floor. Finding this little rhythm of your own, exhaling as you rock back, feeling the full emptiness of the breath before you start to inhale and move forward. Two more times. It's almost feeling like you're getting your own little tide moving. And bring your spine back up to a straight place. And take 2 full breaths with complete exhales, pausing at the end of your emptiness, end of the exhale. A dark, empty, but fertile space. We're just going to take our fingertips out to the side, or maybe even on your waist, whatever feels good. It's easier on the floor. We're going to take our belly button for a circle and the upper body for a big circle around the pelvis. Doesn't need to be a big movement. It's a circular movement, moving forward, round, and back. Try and find that simple rhythm of your breath again. Perhaps inhaling as you rise and exhaling as you fall. Have your eyes closed, and it's a really simple and lubricating movement. Just feeling into the hip space. I'm going to start to go the other way whenever you're ready. Moving gently to the other side. Exhaling down, inhaling. You should feel a real easy flow going with this simple rhythm. Taking 3 more in your own time. Just gently coming up to sitting and just resting your hands on your knees, taking a full inhale. And exhale completely. Exhale all the way and pause before you inhale. One more time, do that. Awesome. Keep the pelvis fixed. We're just going to take the ribs, the low ribs, for a circle around the pelvis. You might start to feel this churning more in the abdominal area, keeping the spine tall. Moving in a big circular motion with your ribs. Keep drawing the ribs upwards so that they move away from the pelvis. And starting to go the other way. That breath nice and fluid. Be tuning into the sensations around the spine, around the waist, upper and lower back. Come back to center and keep the spine nice and tall. Relax the shoulders downwards. 2 big breaths. Keep your exhaling out of the mouth. Empty and pause. Before you inhale. Awesome. Roll the shoulders up and back and then slide the hands out to the side and bend the elbows. So here we really want to keep the spine nice and tall. We're going to take it to a twisting motion, leading with the elbows, turning one side and the other. Inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Keeping the head nice and tall. Try not to let any tension come into the shoulders. Moving from your chest, from the center of your chest, keeping your elbows wide. Finding that fluidity of breath. Doing 6 more. Feeling into the thoracic body. Last time. And relax the arms all the way down. Take 2 full breaths. Keep your eyes stay closed. You're starting to notice the quality of your breath, maybe the quality of your headspace. Tuning into liberation, lubrication of the spinal area, a little inner river, if you like. So we're going to take the hands behind the head. Take an inhale as you gently lift the chin, supporting the neck. And exhale, round, closing elbows towards each other, keeping the spine nice and straight. So this doesn't need to be a big movement, so that we feel the upper back, the cervical neck, cervical spine lifting and lowering. Inhaling as you lift and open, and exhale as you close. Just feeling where the breath moves to. If you can find a fullness of breath here. Three more. Chin up, chin down. And then taking your arms all the way out wide, spread the fingers. And bring yourself back to resting, 2 full breaths. Empty out completely. So dropping the chin to chest and taking the nose for a big circle. 5 times in each direction. Stay with us, soft and easy breath. Be tuning into the sensations around the neck and shoulders. You're going the other way now. You can isolate the movement. Concentrate the nose, going in a circle. And coming back up to sitting straight and tall, splitting the hands. And take 2 full breaths, and on the exhale, this time we will, through the mouth, purse the lips and blow as if you're blowing out a bunch of candles out until you're completely empty. So taking a big inhale and a cleansing exhale. And inhale again. Allow the breath to be coming in nice and easy again. Just notice how you feel for a few moments after having lubricated the spine, and tried to get our ojas on the go. So ojas, what is that? Another 4-lettered word. Ojas is your glow, that inner vital energy, that which when you notice somebody's skin glowing, eyes sparkling, hair lustrous, full of energy, that is your ojas, your inner vitality, if you like. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's very much stored with the energy of the kidneys. So we work with that at this time of year. So we're just with our legs crossed as they are, going to fold forward and relax the head forward and down, rounding the back. And just feeling into the kidney space a little bit as you stretch forward. So don't worry how far you go, how rounded you get. Just allow the head to fall forward while the sit bones root down and back. And as we breathe with ease here, take every inhale to feel like you're replenishing the store of Jing, kidney energy, or Ojas, as it's called in Ayurvedic medicine. Feeling the lower back expand on the inhale and have an intention to replenish that energy, restore, rejuvenate. 2 more breaths. Gently inhale as we cross the other ankle over and start to move our way forward again. So you might feel a stretching through the outer hip point. Concentrate your efforts to grounding the sit bones back, letting the head fall forward. Working these full inhales. And exhale. Good. Starting to move yourself back up to your seat. Just free the feet in front of us. You're just going to free the feet nice and wide as your mat, and lay your weight back into your arms, fingers pointing back, and just allow the knees to drop from side to side, nice and wide. The sit bones can lift, the pelvis can rock from side to side. Two more. Still finding that fluidity with your breath. Move with a flowing intention. We jing up our water element. Next time your knees drop to the left side, we're going to walk our hands around, look behind us, and set the hands so that they're under the shoulders, and try and twist from the belly, and twist the ribs, and open the collarbones to the back. Working the breath nice and deep so you feel the ribs spread on the inhale, and exhale completely. Soften neck and shoulders. One more breath. And starting to move yourself around. Knees drop to the right side and move yourself around to a twist. So really see if you can level off those collarbones. Two more full, deep and easy breaths. That tide-like rhythm of your breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Roll all the way down onto your back. Bring the knees all the way inwards and set your arms overhead. So the feet are set behind the sit bones, the knees are pointing to the ceiling. Take an inhale with your arms still reaching overhead. And exhale as you press on the feet and rise up through each vertebrae for a modified bridge. Exhale as you roll down, or inhale as you roll down. Exhale, tucking the tailbone and arching through the spine, activating the quads, the glutes, and rolling down vertebrae at a time. Do 2 more. Good, and then just let your arms straight by your side. Just heel toe your feet as wide as your mat, if not wider, and drop your knees into center. So feel the thighs dropping inwards, internally rotating the hips. Lifting, opening, just gliding the feet towards the end of your mat, and then cross right ankle over left, and start to move right shoulder, right wrist overhead, and come into a banana shape. So we're in a nice side bend. So we should feel the right foot reach in to cross the left ankle. And think about how the shoulders feel. Maybe your elbows are wide and your arms are just draping. Or if it feels good, you're reaching your right arm overhead. So don't go too deep. Relax the neck and shoulders. Feel into the breath here, feeling the stretch through the rib space. Maybe a little release through the shoulders, letting any tension drop out. One more full breath here. And then move to separate the feet, separate the arms, reset yourself in the center. Take a big stretch in all directions, arms behind you, feet in front of you. And then relax the spine downwards, exhaling. Cross the left ankle over the right. And take a full breath here, feel the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Inhale. And then exhale completely as you slide your left wrist across the body, maybe catching the wrist or just bending the elbows. And feeling the shoulders move over to the right side. Feed the breath here. Find your flow. See where you're holding and see if you can soften around the edges. Just softening any rigidity in the body. Finding a little bit of ease in all the joints. Your last breath here in banana shape. It's nice side arc. Before you come back to flex the feet, flex the hands, reach behind you. And then hug in the knees, hug in both knees. Draw the face up to the knees as you curl the back. Draw the shoulder blades down. And then roll yourself upwards and cross over and onto hands and knees. Point the toes behind you and sink back into a child's pose. Maybe finding a little movement through the pelvis just to find the easy spot to sink down. We're going to start to move with breath. So on the next inhale, start to move your way forward, separate the feet, keeping the arms nice and straight, arching the spine and upward dog. And then peeling the feet together, sinking back, resting downwards, child pose. You can maneuver through the spine with a nice wave-like motion. Exhaling backwards and inhaling forwards. The oja is the jala, the water, in all the cells and tissues of our body. The cerebral fluid, the spinal fluid. So we're looking to fortify this ojas, our glow, our inner glow, by moving fluidly and trying to cleanse and activate our water systems, our fluid systems in our body. Try to move without resistance. We're going for 4 more, nice and easy. Keeping this like a moving meditation, so you're feeling, embodying the flow. Not time here. Lifting the heart space. And then exhale, drop back. Work yourself onto your seat, sitting onto your heels. Just roll through the wrists for a moment, lubricating the wrist joint. You're moving through the fingers. And then draw your thighs towards each other so that the legs are parallel and rise upwards. So you decide if you need to come to support your back here for a modified camel pose. Pressing into the tops of your feet. Move the hip points forward and try and move the lower ribs, projecting them upward and away from the pelvis. So as much space as you can find in the belly. Still keeping a nice action through the back body. Modified camel, spreading the heart space, belly. Moving the torso up and back. Good. Bringing yourself forward, keeping the hips stacked over each other. We're going to walk the hands forward into Anahatanasana. So choose if you're bending the elbows and letting the head drop down, or if you're coming into full pose, arms straight and forearms, hands active. So we're coming for a chest stretch here. Chest and shoulders and armpits. Feel into that space and breathe into that space. Taking one more full breath here. Before you glide yourself back, any which way which is comfortable for you, coming back to sit on your heels. So the thighs should be towards each other, knees quite close. And we're going to come for a counter pose for that. Moving again to feel for fluidity through the spine, baby rabbit. Roll the head all the way in, forehead towards your knees. Don't go too hard. You can have your hands under your shoulders if you prefer. Lifting the pelvis, taking a little weight on the head. When you roll the chin into the chest, so we're rounding the spine. We're trying to look for freedom around the spine. So we're trying to stretch out the deep muscles that work with the spinal column that hook plug into each of the vertebrae. So we're here for a couple of breaths. Come back down, relax completely. Let everything release, soften, relax. Before we come back up for another baby rabbit, lifting the pelvis if it's comfortable for you. Just feeling for release through the spine. Taking 2 more full, slow, and deep breaths. Not forcing this shape. Work back onto your feet, but tuck the toes this time and set your weight backwards. So we're standing on our feet and starting to draw the pelvis high and the head down. We come into a standing forward bend. You might catch the elbows and dangle the head between the arms. Come into the standing forward extension of the spine. You might start to bob and sway if that feels good to you. Just tuning into that water fluidity. You don't want to feel rigid. We don't want to feel stuck. You're swaying your body and your hips. You might start to be bending alternate legs. Moving into the ankles. And relax the arms downwards as you come back to center and slowly rise up to standing. Just rolling your head back so that it's stacked over your heart and your hips and feel into this mountain pose. Use your breath to find your tidal rhythm. I'm going to step forward with the right foot just a little bit, so half a leg length or 2 feet perhaps. I'm going to start to move through a little bit of Tai Chi, which I think most of you are familiar with. We use this in our Qigong practice as well. It's a Dao Yin for winter, which means it's a winter warm-up. So we're starting to move forwards and backwards, taking our weight into alternate legs. Exhaling forwards and inhaling backwards. So be very deliberate about this movement. And again, you can close your eyes if you feel stable. And just notice that rhythmic cycle of tide coming in and out. As you exhale, the hands come down, and as you inhale, they come back and round. So this ocean of energy is what we're trying to move in Tai Chi. Lifting the toes of the front foot, so we're starting to work into the back of the leg, freeing the ankles. Let's do 2 more. Good. This time we're going to scoop behind us, keeping the front leg, the right leg straight, bending into the left leg. Scoop the water forwards on an exhale. Then to inhale, roll it up and over. The front body stretches. Exhale forward and down. Inhale, right leg. Opening the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Make it as big a movement with the upper body as you would like. Maybe you're starting to come onto the back toes as you move your weight forward. And make this your last one. Reground both feet, bend the back leg, lift the right toes, and fold forward over your straight leg. Keep hugging the hip back. Both hips are level. And let the nose and the chin draw down towards the thigh with a knee. We're getting a back of the shin and hamstring stretch. Taking 2 more full breaths here. You're exhaling out of the mouth, keeping the movement of breath nice and soft. Good. Inhale as you rise. Keeping your hands on your hips this time. We're just going to do what I like to call the funky chicken, and it stems from the chin. I'm going to take the chin out as if you're trying to catch something with your chin and draw it back in again. Now 4 times. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Just concentrating on the neck space for now. Then we're going to start to move the chin so that it's in line with the chest, a little bit lower. You might start to lift in the right toes. And then we're going to start to take the chin so that it's pelvis level. And hug it in. 3 more. Good. Come back to standing. Set the left foot next to the right in the middle of your mat and just take a moment here in mountain pose. Full breath in and exhale, cleansing breath. Again, inhaling. Cleansing exhale. So step the left foot in front of the right and start to rock your weight from side to side, bending in the right leg and then the left. Maybe adding the arms, exhaling forward, inhaling back. Imagining you are moving through water, no resistance. We're taking this practice to a restorative, nourishing practice, using the intention to bring our ojas, our glow, our internal body fluids into a state of harmony. Notice if there's any resistance in the body or if you can find a super light bobbing around in the current. Good. Bringing your hands to your hips and folding forward and down. So hugging that left leg back, keeping that left leg nice and straight. And then exhale. Inhale, rise. Big open chest, exhale. Inhale, rise. Make it as fluid and soft as you can. Maybe you're starting to come onto the back toe, moving your weight forward before you whoosh down again, throwing the water over you. One more. And then stay down. Draw the chin down towards the nose, towards the knee, sorry, or the shin. Draw the navel in, maybe try and bed the lower belly and the ribs towards your left thigh. Relax the head downwards. Feel the breath. Feel the back of the kidney space expanding with each inhale. You're really working with the kidney and bladder meridian lines here, or water element lines. Restoring some jing. Good. Rise up. Hands come to your hips. Let's equalize the weight through your legs. Let's do the funky chicken. Chin forward, chin pulls back. Exhale. Inhale. The chin's doing a kind of circle. I know, Dora, your neck is not often happy these days. I hope that this is soothing for it. So obviously go with ease. You should feel like a lubrication for the cervical spine. We're going to start moving a little bit more to chest height with our chin circle. To draw the chin in as you're coming full circle. Let's go down to the pelvis level. Starting to bring the full spine into it. Last time. And then step your right leg next to the left and come to a standing place at the front of your mat. Taking a full breath in and exhale. Full cleansing exhale. One more. Good. Rest here at the top of your mat and just notice the effects of your Ojas boosting water flow. Add a little bit of heat to this. Coming at the front of your mat, rising. Trying to keep as fluid as we were. Gentle back bend, exhale as you fall. Gentle forward bend, inhale, weight forward and up. And exhale, glide the right leg back, stay on the back toe. Inhale, lift the chin chest, reach through the back heel. Exhale, hug the left hip back into a modified pyramid. Drop the nose to knee. Inhale, come back to center, plant the right hand and open out to the left side so you're in a twist. Maybe take a nice loose shoulder round in a big circle. Ground the right foot and move with ease over to the back of the mat. So you're in Skandasana. Take an inhale to lengthen the side body and exhale. Parallel the feet and come up to halfway. So you're lengthening the spine forward. Take an exhale and draw yourself down to the left leg. Left nose to knee. Start to weigh towards the toes slightly and draw the right elbow towards the floor. Hug the belly in. Find length in your spine. This should all feel like it's fluid and easy. No strain. Glide your left hand to the right ankle. Draw the left elbow towards ground and nose towards knee. Shift your weight forward. Hips are high. Use your breath. Take an inhale as you come back to center and half lift. And turn to face the left foot. Set yourself inside the left foot and work your way into a lizard pose. So maybe your right knee is down, maybe it's up. Turn the left toes out and maybe find a little motion here. Use breath, use fluidity. Nothing rigid. Working your way down, if that's your practice, into a deeper lizard. If not, stay up high. And then plant the hands. Draw the left leg back so you're in plank or half plank and lower all the way down. Take an inhale as you press up to Cobra. And exhale. Reach back into a child's pose. Dropping your nose down, your head downward. Set the left arm out to the side. Reach the right foot to the opposite side of the mat and take a modified side stretch, a modified side plank. Come back to child's pose. Right arm reaches, left leg goes long. Come into this diagonal, reaching through the side body. Come back to center. Sink into the heel. drop the nose all the way in, top of the head reaches, and come up for baby rabbit. Big exhale here. And then inhale as you sit down. Rise up, exhaling. Take an inhale, using your ribs to move away from the pelvis. Modified camel. And then exhale. Drop your fingertips to ground. Toes tuck. And sit yourself so that your feet are in toes turning out in a squat. So if you need to be higher, go higher. We're aiming for a Malasana shape where we can easily lift the spine, easily lift the head. And if it feels good, we're lifting the arms. If that's too much, just stay low. Find this fullness of breath. Good. And then shoot yourself forward. Find yourself in downward facing dog. Relaxing the chin inward. Really sense this inversion. Hips high, head low. Using this as a restorative inversion. Smooth breath. Before you step forward, feet between hands, lift, lengthen out of the waist and exhale as you fold. Maybe catching your ankles as you go. Soften the knees, rise, inhale. And exhale, come to mountain pose. Good, inhale, let's do the same again on the other side. Nice, gentle back bend. Exhale as you fold, drawing the navel in. Keep everything soft around the edges. Inhale, lift, half lift, and glide the left toes back. So reach as far back as is comfortable with the left leg. Inhale, reach the chin chest forward as you root back through the heels. And exhale, hug the right hip back, straighten the right leg and bow forward. Modified pyramid. Come back to center, plant the left hand and turn to the right side, opening up wide, feeling for this twist. Shoulder comes in a big circle if that feels nice. And then ground the left heel and move yourself all the way over to the back of the mat. So the left toe is turning out and the right toe is lifting. So feeling it in the groin here. Inhale, reach through the side body if that feels nice. And then bring yourself back to parallel feet, lengthening through the spine. So of course you can have a block here. We're going to start to walk our hands down and in line with our toes, in line with our feet. And bring yourself forward into Prasarita Padasana, standing forward bend. Hinge the belly in and up. Let the pelvis rock forward. Really work with your breath here. Expanding and contracting. Good. Inhale as you half lift. And turn to the right foot. And work yourself so that your arms are inside the right foot and your right foot walks away off the mat, toes turned out. Stay in lizard pose. Find any buoyancy that's right for you here. Maybe moving a little through the hips or lowering down onto your forearms if that's your practice in lizard pose. This nice hip opener. Keep rooting through the back heel if your back knee is lifted, or stay down. Take 2 more breaths. And then walk the hands under the shoulders. Fix nice, strong, straight arms and flip the right leg back. Lower all the way down, exhaling. Point the toes and draw the ribs forward and up, shoulders back, Cobra. Exhale, sink back into child pose. Set the right hand right, the left foot left, and come for a side stretch. Come back to center. Work to the other side. Starting to move a little bit more rhythm or fluidity. Come back to center, and this time shoot forward, hips high, chin chest forward and down, Anahatanasana. And then work yourself forward into Sphinx pose. So the elbows are under the shoulders. Really let the pelvis drop. So as you pull the shoulders back and lift the chin, We want to feel for a very gentle stress, a very gentle action on the lower back. We're targeting the kidney space here. Use the breath. Feel into this gentle compression in the lower back. With each inhale, imagine you are boosting your ojas, getting your glow on. Grounding the pelvis, grounding the thighs. Getting that vital energy restored and working with our water, inner water systems, cerebral, spinal, and all the cellular tissues, host of all the moisture. And 2 more breaths in sync pose. Good, relax the head downward. You're going to slide the left hand underneath us. And the right elbow is going to cross on top. Both hands are facing downwards. We're drawing the elbows under the shoulders and maybe just a little bit more. Palms are downwards. We're just going to glide our shoulders, our hands out to the side and just let the head drop forward. You're going to feel a little bit of stress around the shoulder space here. So if you have a shoulder injury, then maybe you're deciding this isn't actually for you. If it's okay, try and let the chin just drop down towards the bicep and allow your weight to be felt. Sink into the bottom of your palm. Feel this fullness of breath. Head is heavy. Dark moon bites. Come into stillness. Notice all the feelings and sensations around the shoulder space, maybe the thoracic. Use the breath to weave through the sensations. Notice how they might change. There might be a tide of sensation with each breath. Good. Gently lift the head and guide the elbows back to center. We're going to guide the right arm underneath us and the left arm is on top. So start with the elbows in front and then guide your arms wide. I'm just looking to see, and maybe take my top off so you can see a bit better. So this is a deep shoulder release. And as always, this is a smaller joint to put a lot of our weight on, so just go easy. The arms are crossed underneath us in a kind of sphinx starting point, and then they glide out. Can't see. And then let the head drop forward and down. Allowing that stretch to be felt with ease. If we're holding on to resist in any way, see if you can let the exhale release you just that little bit more. No holding, no holding, no holding. Taking 2 more breaths. Very gently slide yourself out and hinge yourself back into a gentle child's pose. I'm just going to take the hands all the way back. Let the weight of you sink downwards. Like a pebble in the stream. Hips are heavy, shoulders are heavy, head is nice and easy. Take a full inhale and exhale completely, maybe with a cleansing exhale. Breathing out of the mouth, short, sharp. Do that one more time. You can really sense that emptiness. Refill it with air. Good. Shoot the arms forward. Lengthen up into your all fours, tuck the toes, and kick yourself back into a downward facing dog. Really deliberately place your feet under hips width, heels parallel to the toes, and root through the arms so the hips reach high. Really work this as a releasing neck, inverted shape. And then inhale as you move your feet between your hands and come forward to sitting on your mat. We're going to bring our feet together and the knees apart in Baddha Konasana. Catch hold of the toes if that's available to you. Maybe the feet or ankles. Decide if you sit on a blanket or not. Raise the hips, lengthen through the spine. Just notice how you feel in the spine. Have a little check-in with yourself here. Rooting the sit bones down and releasing through the inner thighs. We're moving forward gently, like a wave, inhaling, lengthening chin up, and exhaling, chin down. If we can't move forward with ease, perhaps our hands are behind us, just shifting the weight of our chest forward. Slow the breath. Good. Take an inhale as you sit up. And then cross the legs again. So the left ankle's in front of the right. You're going to choose here if you're coming for Agni Sambhasana, which is left ankle on top of right thigh with the shins stacked, or log stop stacking pose. Or if you're keeping your ankles crossed here. And we're going to come for a little side stretch. Take an inhale as you reach up through the right arm, the left leg is on top. Just taking the stretch through the side body. Take an inhale to rise and exhale to the other side. Grounding through both sit bones equally. 2 more times. Using your breath. And come back to center. Start to bow forward over your legs. If you're in Agni Sambhasana, keep feet active and fold forward. And if you just have your shins crossed, that's fine too. Try and find sit bones grounding and spine reaching. Allowing this to be felt around the hip space, perhaps. Lower back. As a release. Do 3 more breaths. Slowing the breath, finding that buoyancy. Rising upwards. And gently rolling backwards. So if you had your ankles crossed, we're taking the left ankle on top of the right thigh and we're drawing it inwards. so that we come into figure of 4. Perhaps if you want to go a little bit deeper, wrapping and cradling the left leg and extending through the right. The sleeping pigeon. Choose what's right for you here. Choose the most nourishing shape for you, where you can really feel it in the hips. So it's a very similar shape from what we've just done. Tuning into the spine, tuning into the pelvic girdle, relaxing through the neck, shoulders, and face. 3 more breaths. Good. Wherever you are, start to release down. Extend through the right leg and keep the left leg bent. We're going to scoop the right hip underneath us and come into a revolved Jalahanda. What's this one? I can't remember. Easy twist. Try and extend through the right leg and take the left leg across. If you're looking over to your left side, keeping the shoulders nice and rooted down. So find the quality of this spinal stretch, not quantity. It's the key for our water flow. Keeping things fluid, quality, not quantity. Feel the breath moving through you in this twisted space. And then just gently roll over to your right side, bringing both shoulders down and bring yourself back up and sitting. Time crossing right ankle over left. Taking side stretch again, 3 times on each side. So grounding through the sit bones and moving through the spine in this fluid sideways motion. If you want a deeper challenge, your right ankle is over your left thigh. Shins are aligned. Good. Coming back to center and starting to hinge from the hips, belly, ribs, chest. Maneuvering yourself forward. Inhaling, chin forward, and exhaling, head down. Finding a buoyancy with your breath. This is double pigeon, Agni Sambhasana, where you have your shins crossed, ankles crossed, in more easy seated position. But we're still rooting down through the pelvis and feeling this in the outer hips, the lower back. Take one more full breath here. Release any holding. Good. Inhale as you rise up. And we're going to lower down. We're coming for figure of 4, keeping the right ankle on the thigh or placing it there if it wasn't already. Decide if you want to take a deeper stretch in sleeping pigeon. Reaching the left leg long and cradling in the crease of your elbows, knee and foot of the right leg. Work to what's right for you and find that fluidity of breath, imagining that river down your spine, carrying all this moisture and fluidity. Cultivating rejuvenating our oja, our inner glow. Little water systems for the cerebral, spinal, and cellular tissue, keeping us hydrated. Use your breath to make sure there's no rigidity, there's no stiffness here, there's no holding. One more full breath, either in figure of 4 or sleeping pigeon. And then extend the left leg long, drive the right thigh up towards the chest and roll onto your left thigh. You might scoot the hips underneath you just a little bit and find a nice long spine. Extend your arms out to the side. Feel your shoulder blades melt into the ground. Maybe you're rolling your right ear to the ground, looking along the floor, or not, you choose. You find the quality of this spinal twist. Do make sure that your spine is in a nice long line. Use the breath to feel buoyant in the ribs as you breathe in and out. Enjoying this juiciness that we're creating in this practice today. One more full breath in. Roll onto your back. Bring everything back to center, hugging the knee. Maybe catch hold of the shins and draw the face up to the knee. Ground it here. And then reground the neck, the shoulders. Maybe reach for both feet and for happy baby pose, or just one leg at a time. If you have full happy baby and you have space, you might want to start rocking from side to side, extending one leg and bending the other. Allow yourself to flop from side to side as if being moved by a gentle current. Exhale as you reach out. Inhale, come back to center. If you have one leg at a time, you can do it just with one leg. Where if the leg doesn't straighten, just allow a softness to enter as you exhale. Continue to do that, finding your own flow. Nourishing that nice water element. You come into this dark moon phase. This empty, liminal space. A place where we can be very receptive. Receive a lot of insight. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more rocks from side to side. And then come to center, bring your feet together, catch hold of the feet. That's not a very nice angle, is it? Catch hold of the feet. Keep your knees wide and bring your feet up, your head up towards your toes and your toes up towards your head. So you're completely rounding the spine. You might start to rock a little bit forward and back, maybe onto your shoulders and onto your pelvis. A little bit like a baby move. Bringing the feet overhead, perhaps if that works. The palms, the soles of the feet are together and the knees are out. Just come into a little rock and roll here. 3 or 4 more times. And then gently, from the top of your shoulders, replace your spine, vertebrae at a time. Nice and easy. And then extend yourself out for a Shavasana. Do take time to put something warm on. Get a blanket. Find a little resting place. Look at this cozy thing we got into for you. So do get yourself to lay down and cozy up. Cover yourself up. Maybe even turn the lights down low if they're not already. And we're just going to flip the palms and really feel the back of the head grounding, supported. Tops of the shoulders grounding down, releasing. scan through the whole back body as you melt downwards into your mat. With a full breath in and a cleansing breath out until you're completely empty of air. Hold and inhale. Do that one more time. Feeling the fullness and then empty yourself out. Step by step. Until you're completely empty. Hold and relax. Settle with the sensations in the body. And explore for a little tidal fluidity that's continuing beneath the surface. The bone marrow moving through your bones. Fluid exchanging between cells. Spinal fluid rippling up and down the spinal column. Cerebral fluid in the skull bathing your brain as your brain is completely protected and soothed in water. Protected and soothed. Let that little ripple or tide start to come to stillness. Feel into your relaxed state. You can stay there for as long as you like. I will complete the practice. Sound of eternal motion, constant change, universal vibration. Great time to settle with deep relaxation, keep some stillness in your space, fluidity through which you do, which does not mean letting go without purpose. It means letting go with resistance, go with the current. In this dark moon phase, to be very receptive to see this nourishing energy that's been offered. Liminal space before our new moon on Wednesday. receiving any insights from your practice. And from your stillness. I wish you a very pleasant soiree. So namaste. And thank you for joining. Thank you, Dora. I hope you feel good. Lots of meltiness for tonight. Not very highly active, but I hope you feel like you've really moved not just your body, but any energy blocks or keeping yourself sustained.
Lovely.
Thank you for joining, guys.
Thank you.
It's always lovely to see you. Bon courage. Oh, namaste. Everyone looks sleepy. Thank you all for joining. Have a good evening.
And you. Bye.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Keep swimming. Water baby.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome. Stop.